Hello, everybody. We're back. So today we've got a fun stream planned. I haven't done this in a while. I think the last time I did a Onshape slash 3D modeling stream was back in like September or October. I think it was right before I went to RepRap in the fall. And I see we've already got some people that are in chat ready to go, which is exciting. So I am just getting some of my stuff set up here. Got a lot of sources and things. And I want to make sure that my thing looks good so you can transition over. So, yeah. All right. So, some stuff about the channel. First off, I've got both printers up and running. Working on my I don't have anything on the K1 right now because I just don't have that many files printing right now. So I've got my CR10 and my Ender printing off some fun parts. I'm gonna do a series on like upgrading both my printers or all of my printers with printed upgrades because that's something I have never done before and I would really like to do. Where is RepRap in 2024? So RepRap depends on where you live in the country. There are a lot of different RepRaps. There is Rocky Mountain RepRap, which is in the like West Coast. I forget exactly where that is. There's Midwest RepRap, which is I believe I will be going to this year, and that is in Indiana. And then there is East Coast RepRap, which is in Maryland, which I went to in the fall of last year. The times are normally announced a few months before the actual RepRap, so I don't think East Coast has been announced yet where it's going to be. And they changed the name. Now it's like 3D Printopia, I believe. And then is there anyone where close to Georgia? I feel like there's one in the like southern part of the country, but I actually don't know. I'm fairly new to RepRap as a concept. And with my stuff with Recreator, I'll probably be going to more RepRaps to represent the project at different RepRaps and maker fairs and stuff. But I actually don't know of any that go on in like the southern area, like Florida, Georgia, that kind of area. So yeah, that is. Oh, I was talking about printers. My bad. So what I don't know what I want to do with it, but I bought a bunch of brand new parts for my Ender 3 Pro. I'm basically making it into an Ender 3 S1. I've got a special sprite extruder for it that makes it take 2.85 millimeter filament as opposed to the normal 1.75 millimeter filament. I want that because I have a lot of 2.85 millimeter filament laying around, and I know a lot of places that I buy from, Micro Center mainly, have 2.85 millimeter filament in their like return bins, and I was like, oh man, if I had a printer that printed 2.85, I could like use these cheap rolls of filament really well. So I'm planning on swapping my Ender to that, and then it'll be direct drive, which is really awesome. I want to add the Ender 3 V2 screen, the one with the knob, because that lets me use the professional firmware by I forget his name, but if you just look up like Ender professional firmware, you'll find him. Phenomenal firmware. I love it. I want to put it on all my Creality machines. I'm adding a BL Touch, or specifically the Big Tree Tech one, and I'm swapping the or I already have, but I swapped the board to an SKR Mini E3 V3. I added tensioning knobs on the X and Y axes. And yeah, so basically it's going to be a completely new printer once I'm done with it. But the two things that I'm printing right now are on my CR10 in the light blue filament color is a modified LED bar for the printer. The goal with that is that I can put an LED bar on the printer itself and hopefully make it modular. I don't know how that'll go, but I'm trying it out. And I modified it so it can take M4 bolts so that I can just, tie it into the aluminum extrusion, which should be nice. And then on the ender in the green filament, that is a power supply remounting bracket, so I can move the power supply on the ender below the machine instead of on the side. I really hate it being on the side. It's kind of a pain. I don't like it. So yeah, all that out of the way. I wanted to first talk before we got into making new stuff. I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that I have designed that either is a video already or will be a video in the future. So I'm going to transition us over. Ta-da! So those of you that know anything about 3D modeling might know or recognize that this is in fact not Onshape, and instead this is Tinkercad. And that is for a very specific reason. So, hey OMB, what's up? So this right here is the model for the joystick cap video that I made. So a little bit of background about the project for anybody that has, for anybody that hasn't seen the video, the joystick cap on one of my controllers broke, and I needed to make a replacement. And I thought about printing one in TPU, which is eventually what I did, and I needed like a replacement. And the ones that I found on printables didn't work because of this. So this little area right here is where it connects into the controller itself. And this little space right here was too big on the ones I found on printables, and so I had to design one myself. So I made this little mock-up using the original, the one that hadn't broken, the joystick cap that hadn't broken. For measurements, I took my calipers and measured it, and I made it look like this, but I didn't like this part up here. So I modeled it to look like this, the top of the cap where your finger rests. I didn't like the way that it looked. It just, I don't know. It looks kind of flat, and you want a space for your thumb to lay. See how this part has like a little part that like goes in. I wanted that for my controller, and this was flat, and there wasn't really a great way to get that contour that I wanted in Tinkercad. And so what I did, and I can come over here into Onshape, I modeled just the cap in Onshape, and then I added this because I don't know if you can see it here. Let's see. Yeah. So you can import STL files into Tinkercad. That's one of the advantages of Tinkercad. And so what I did is I exported this cap as an STL and then imported it into this model on Tinkercad. And that's how I made this. I'm really proud of how this turned out. It only took me like an hour to make. And since I had the TPU already dried and in my printer, I was able to finish this in less than a day. Again, like a few hours to finish the entire thing. And it was one of those moments where I finally felt like I was using my printer, like you see in videos where people are like, oh, I broke something, but I fixed it using my printer. So this was super cool. I want to go through a little bit of how I made the cap here. So the first thing that I did was I had this circle for what I wanted the final, like the final cap to be. I used this measurement right here. You can see it's 17. So I put in 17 there. That's what made the basis for this. So then I extruded it up to make just a regular cylinder, but I didn't want those harsh angles on something that my finger was going to be resting on. So I did a fillet on the sides, which gave me, this shape was okay. I didn't mind it. However, it's again kind of, is there any really good free CAD software that you know of. I mean, Onshape's free. That's why I use it right now, and I think it's fantastic for free CAD software. Um, so, and I hope to show that off today in the video, or today in the stream as we go along. So I did a fillet here, but I wanted a little bit more of like a place to rest your finger on, and so I ended up extruding this plane down and then doing another fillet, which I can show right here. You can see I extruded it down and then did an internal fillet here to have it rounded out a little bit more so it felt more comfortable on your hand. And then to reinforce that comfortability, I even put a fillet on that edge between those right there. Now to create the bottom here, I had the idea to use a loft. It's a special technique in any parametric modeler that I know of. But you basically, what you do is if you have two planes that are on the, or you have two surfaces, two planes that are offset but on the same axes, you can have the software will do what's called a loft, where they basically taper down from the bigger to the smaller, or from the smaller to the bigger, to make kind of like a cone shape. And you could do a lot with the loft, which I will probably show off. I don't know if I'll have a loft on the project I'm doing today, but I've been really getting into using lofts on a lot of my projects. This right here is the reason why I made this in Onshape rather than in Tinkercad, because there's no way to make a loft in Tinkercad, and I really wanted that angle that you can see here. I wanted that lofted like angle part right there, and it was so much easier to just do this in Onshape. And then finally, like I keep saying, I want this to be smooth on your hands, run around the controller really well. So I did a fillet on the side here. A lot of the times when I do a fillet, I will just kind of gauge it by how it looks. I don't do a lot of things that require very specific tolerances on their, shapes. I was just doing this based on how it felt, how I thought it would feel on your hand. So when I made these fillets, these were just arbitrary numbers that I chose. I didn't design this and go, oh, the fillet has to be 2 millimeters here and 1 here, or whatever. I just did it based off of what I liked looking at. So then after I finished making this, I imported it in and added it to here. So some minor things that I might change before I publish this on my printables is the distance right here. This oh shoot. So this distance right here. Come on. Yeah, this cylinder right here is a little big, and so I think I might actually take it out and have this just sit flush with the top of this dome here, because it ends up being a little proud of the controller, and so it's a little bit of a pain with how tall it is. But aside from that, I think this project was a huge success, and if you guys were there for the final stream of Super Mario Galaxy, then you got to see that firsthand, because one of the reasons why I wanted to play Super Mario Galaxy that week is because I was testing out the controller that I had just fixed. And so me not complaining as much about the controller that game compared to other times, I think was proof that I succeeded in doing a good job making this, which I'm very proud of this. I think I did a really good job on finally, taking something broken and fixing it with 3D printing. And so I just wanted to showcase that as a way that not only can you use two different slicing softwares, but you can also not only can you use two different slicing softwares, but you can also fix things that might otherwise be, junk, which I think is cool, and kind of the whole point of 3D printing. What is the streaming schedule for next week? So the streaming schedule for next week will be Minecraft Tuesday on Tuesday at the same time, 2 o'clock EST. And Thursday I will be back to playing some game. I normally decide about that while I'm editing the videos for the week. So not exactly sure what that'll be. I might do a new game though rather than go back to an old one. But I have to see because I really would like to play Spider-Man, which we had played a little bit ago. Okay, so that is kind of everything I wanted to talk about with the joy cap fix, and I think we're gonna fully move, or we're gonna move away from Tinkercad for a little bit. So let me get my scenes correct here as I go to and from. I gotta remember what I named them. Ah, there we go. Okay, so this is ready then for when we move on to actual making. All right, so the next thing that I worked on, that I have here in Onshape, is a file from a while ago. So boom, here is the Henya's new model hair tie. Again, another one that I was really proud of because this one I did in a shorter time than I had done any of my others previously. This one is very similar to the Gura hair tie. They're basically identical in the way that in the techniques that I used. And again, you'll see very similar techniques to a lot of the stuff that I make. So I started off making the main face for the cat here. And you can see that there is a lot of really ugly dimensioning on this because CAD is not a super great way to make artistic pieces, which is a big reason why I want to learn something like Blender, because this took me forever to get these lines perfect, and it's literally just a circle with 2 points on it. But CAD's not really something you want to use for artistic pieces, and so that's why I kind of want to move away from using CAD for or I guess I should say engineering CAD, because I guess technically Blender might categorize as a CAD software. But anyway, so I made the cat face there, and then I extruded that up to make the main face of the hair tie. I tend to always do this, extrude, and then immediately follow it up with a fillet. This one ended up being 5 millimeters. Again, they're kind of just things that I decide in the field, the numbers. I don't really have a plan for artistic features like the fillet there. I don't really have plans for those before I start going. Then I had earlier I had made this sketch for the face of the cat. That one went a little bit easier than the actual cat body had, but I made that. So the way that I did this was I extruded this up out of the face because I had drawn it on the plane, the same plane as the body. So by making it an addition rather than a new surface, this extruded all of the detail up, and then I could extrude it back down in. That gave me a little bit more control over how deep I was going to make the features on the face, which let me then control these fillets a little bit more. I like to do these because it allows for the printer to stair step in these features and makes the eyes look a little bit more dynamic, and I kind of like the way that it looks. I decided to not do that on the mouth because it was so skinny that you really wouldn't have seen that detail when you finally finished it off. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to do some music. That is my bad. So we're not just listening to me talk. Or wait, actually, you know what? I'm gonna wait to until I start actually like making stuff to start playing music. Sorry to go back on that. So the final thing that I did here was I added the like hair clip part. This is supposed to look like an actual hair clip. Um, and this was the same technique that I used on the Gura hair tie, where I did just um, a conic arch here and pulled it an arbitrary length, and then I moved it back and forth so that it looked the point here. I moved it. You can see it all the way out here. I moved it back and forth to kind of get where it would look like this tip was in the middle of this, the body. I then extruded it and added a fillet to it, similar to pretty much everything that I've been doing recently. So this was the cat hair tie, the henna cat hair tie. Again, really proud with this one for how quickly I was able to pull it off. I want to do models quicker for when there's big releases of things, and this was a great step towards that. I really enjoy modeling. I just don't get enough time for it, unfortunately. So, that is everything that I have currently made a video on. I decided I kind of didn't want to leak it, but I just decided we're like, screw it. I'm gonna kind of leak this, but I have a model that I have finished working on that is going to be in my next video, which that is the special announcement for now. For today, I'm going to be releasing the sequel to my VTuber 3D models video. That will be coming out in the coming weeks. I don't have a specific date on it. I just want everybody to know that I'm working on it because I've pretty much finished all the models that I want to add to it. I have the Fuomoko twins choker. I have the Gura and the Henya hair ties. So those two I'm going to merge together, I believe. I have the Ame rocket, and then I have a final. Hey, Dreams, what's up? But I have a final model that I am so excited to show off as a special stream only sneak preview. But I hope this doesn't. Okay, good. We're all good. So I have made a fauna sapling planter. So I have been a fan of fauna for a little bit. I was introduced to her streams through another creator who I'm very good friends with now, Cynthia. I don't know if she is in chat now. I doubt it. She often misses the streams because there are bad times for her. But member of, I might shout out her. I've reposted a couple of her TikToks recently. If you follow me on TikTok, actually, but I was inspired to make a fauna piece because I got obsessed with fauna for a little bit. But anyway, for those of you that don't know Fauna, she is a VTuber like all the other VTubers that I've made models on. But her chat, like the name for her chat or her audience is Saplings, and they look like this. Fauna is that the green Hatsune. Yes, Fauna is the green Hatsune Miku on our server on the Minecraft server. But this is the representation of her audience. They're called saplings, and so I decided to make a sapling that it functions as a planter for plants. And that sounds stupid. I'm working on printing this, and actually, that's the green that you're seeing up in the top left here. Printing right now is I bought it at Micro Center because it looked like quote unquote fauna green, and I had this very specific idea in mind for what I wanted to print it with. I just haven't because, as you can imagine, this is huge. This is almost the entire bed of an ender, so it will take like a day or two to print, and I'm really nervous because I don't like printing huge things just because you don't know if they're going to fail or not. I've never had great luck printing giant pieces, and then when they fail, they use up a lot of filament. So that's the only reason I haven't done it yet. But is it in vase mode? So I haven't quite gotten the hang of how I want it to look, but it's not in vase mode yet because of this in here. This needs support. So what I have to look at is I believe there is a setting in, I don't know if it's in Cura, but I know it's in Prusa. I just don't know how to use it. But to only have infill in a place that you want it. So I would only put infill below this circle, which would make it almost empty. The only reason that I haven't done it as a vase mode is because then it will be really like weak, or it'll be really low weight, and so then it won't if it's low weight, then it won't have won't it won't be as stable on like a shelf. So I'm thinking, even though it's more material, I might fill it with infill just so that it is more weighty, so that when it holds the plant, it doesn't immediately tip over. So I wanted to go over how I built this because I'm very, very proud of how I did it. So the first thing that I did here was I got the sketch for the body, how I wanted the body to look. And I knew I wanted to use a special technique called a revolve, where you build like half of something and then you give a line for it to revolve around, and it will build a circle around that. So you can see here, it took that shape that I just drew and revolved it around in a circle. So this made my like ovular shape for the body. Now, if you notice, the first thing that I saw that I didn't like about this, I knew this was going to happen, and so it was the next thing that I did. But you can see here, this shape would be awful to print. It is just a pure circle with no way to support that on the build plate. I would have to just cover this in supports, and it would be so, it would look really awful. Not even mentioning the fact that the overhangs might look really awful unless you have perfect part cooling. So I was like, I'm going to cheat my way through that, kind of, with a technique where instead this is the eyes. Instead, what I did is I made a little rectangle here at the bottom and lopped off the bottom to give it an artificial back to, like an artificial place to support the rest of the piece with while it's printing. So this was made specifically so that it would be good to print. And from what I can tell, none of these angles go less than 60 degrees. So it should be good to print on almost every printer with no issues. I haven't tested that, obviously, because I haven't printed it yet. But that was one of the exciting parts. I was a little bit worried if I pulled this up any more, then it would start to look weird because it would have so much chopped off on the bottom. So then looking at the face, that is the next part that was like kind of the hardest to do. So I made this sketch that was the face of the... Oh, why is it not showing the sketch? Anyway, looking at it head on, I made this sketch that was the eyes and the mouth. This one was... What is my printables account? Let me pull it up real quick, but it should be in my link. It's on my link tree on my it should be linked in my bio on YouTube, but I will throw it into the chat just to make sure. So what the heck. Okay, so what I just added to chat, that is my printables account. I'm trying to let me pin this message. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that is my printables account if you're interested. 2 of the models that I have shown off I haven't posted yet. I hope to get around to that. But yeah. So anyway, back to the face. So working on the face, I made a sketch where I drew out the eyes and the mouth. I knew I wanted them to be the same distance, and I was thinking about originally making these inserts that you could print separately from the rest of the body. That way you could print them in whatever color you wanted. However, I just didn't like the way that then they would be like, they would pop out from, this is an over exaggeration, but then they would pop out from the face at an uneven way, you see? Because if you look at from the top here, I would have to make them like this long right here. And so you'd have all this space on the left and all this space on the right where they would be just jutting out so far from the body. So what I did with this is I wanted to prove to myself that I didn't want to go that route for that technique on how to get the eyes and the mouth to look that way. And what I really wanted was I really wanted these eyes to follow the curve of the body so that I could then have the eyes, the mouth, an equal distance from the body. So I tried a lot of different techniques and I just couldn't get it to work. Oh, I also added the cheek the cheek blushes in a separate sketch. Not exactly sure where. Nope, not that. Anyway, so I couldn't figure out what to do because I wanted these to be, well, I mean, you can see now, I obviously did it, but I wanted these to look like this. As you can see here in the final, these follow the exact same curve of the body itself. So even though the eye starts here and here, oh, I don't want that. I want the, even though these dots are so far away from each other, you still have an equal curve. These and these are equidistant, which will, I think, make the model look way better and also be way easier to print than beforehand. I couldn't figure out a way to do that because I would have to draw, like I couldn't draw over this and just make a curve here with a, if you have your planes here, this is your, this plane right here, your top plane. If I had made a sketch here on the top plane and extruded down, I would have had that problem because it's rounded in the Y, the X, and the Z all at the same time. And so just a straightforward downwards cut would not, it wouldn't work. So I had to get creative. I had to get a cut that could get all of the angles at the same time, which is a little difficult. And then I finally had a revelation. Wait, if I have a curve that goes around and I used a revolve to do it, what if I made a bigger circle that was offset the same distance I wanted all of the features to be? Let's say, I think they're like, let's say they're 5 millimeters. I want these to be 5 millimeters offset from the face. What if I made another curve, offset it? You should make the hole bigger for plants to be planted. So the hole is big enough to take a normal size plant. Eventually when I get the video posted, you'll see, but this is a huge model. This is as big as an ender bed. You can see here, this right here is 100 millimeters just to cut everything off. This hole right here is 80 millimeters in diameter. Anyway, yeah. So the idea that I got was, why don't I make the exact same curve that I did before? So I copied this original sketch that I made onto a new sketch, and then I offset it. So there is a setting up here to do an offset. Hopefully you can see that on the screen right now, but there's a setting to offset. And so I offset this entire curve by, I forget exactly how many millimeters I did, but I offset it by a few millimeters. And then I shot up by, I ended up doing 100 millimeters, which is way overkill, but I wanted to make sure that I caught every bit of this and didn't leave any weird parts out here. Anyway, then I did another curve. This curve isn't as important to be a specific radius. It's this internal one that you really want that. I really wanted that to be the same curve as the original curve. And I also didn't have to factor in the square bottom or the square top because they had already been cut out. And so then what I did after I had made that sketch is I did a revolve, but I did the revolve as a remove. And so instead it wrapped around and it cut all of those parts off in the perfect curve that I needed to get those eyes, mouth, and cheek blushes perfectly pulled off, which I was like, this is genius. I'm so excited about this. So that is pretty much the long and short of how I made this fauna planter. I'm hoping it goes well. I made this back in, I think, December because I was going to put a Christmas tree inside of it. But I ended up running out of time with everything that happened around Christmas with the Recreator project and all of that. So I never got to debut the model, but I have been so excited. I'm really excited to show it off. And I hope you guys enjoy it and download it when it eventually comes out. So that is all of the hair tie, the joystick caps, all of that. Those are all the new models that I have. But today we wanted to model our own. So I have a new idea that I have been cooking up for a while that I want to make. So I am going to start a new model. All right, and I got to get it up in Tinkercad. So this is going to be another model that's a mixture between Tinkercad and it's a balance between Tinkercad and Onshape. But this is a project that I had the idea for back in, oh my gosh, 2021, I believe, is when I originally started working on this. It's been one that I've been working on for a long, long time, but I just have never finished because I haven't liked it. It just hasn't come out right. And so today I'm hoping I can use as the time to finish it. So I got to add the reference. I totally forgot about that. So let me add the reference. Please bear with me as I get everything set up for today, or set up for this, and transition over. But then now I'm done showing off models that I've already made, and instead I'm going to be showing or making models that, or we're going to be making a new model. There we go. My throat, I'm really losing it. So, I want to make there we go. Ta-da! So, I got this idea a while ago, but I have this old USB hub, and I was like, I really want to turn this USB hub into a monitor from the Sonic series. Like one of the, I call them TV monitors, but I realize in game a lot of people call them the item boxes. And so I was like, I want to make a Sonic TV box, or a Sonic 1, a classic Sonic item box USB hub. And so this was before I knew how to use Onshape, and so I had been trying to make it in Tinkercad forever, and it was just not working. Like at all, it wasn't working. And so today I'm going to try and build it. So here is the original plan, and we're going to take these measurements and use them in Onshape to make a new model from scratch, because I don't like the way that the old model turned out. But I want to first discuss kind of where I was headed with this and where I'd like to go going forward with it. So first off, the big thing that I like to hit when I make stuff is I really like to make stuff that doesn't require supports unless absolutely necessary. And so this model, you can lay on like this and have no supports, which is really nice. That's the goal with this and this as well. And the base. Now the base has this area right here, which is really awful for 3D printing. I'm wondering if I might do a loft like I did with the game cap, but we'll see as we get forward. So, as you can see in the reference image that I have in the bottom left here, I want to split this off into 3 specific pieces. We've got the base of the TV that takes the USB hub into it. We've got the bottom that supports it all, and then we've got the screen. So the reason I wanted to split them off like this, the body is split into 2 pieces to avoid supports if possible, and the screen is split off because I wanted to print it in a clear color so that it could allow a light on the back end of this shine through the whole structure and light up the screen like an actual TV, which I thought was kind of cool. So as you can see, the measurements don't exactly line up because Tinkercad's very difficult to get things specific with in my experience. So today we're going to try and model it so it's a little bit better. I'm going to start off by making the body and then work my way to the other pieces. So yeah. And then once we're done, I want to come back and make this pixel art look a little bit cleaner, which I already have one made. I just couldn't help it. Today I made the Sonic face, but I also want to make the other 3 that you can see: the ring, the invincibility, and the speed shoe. And I'll also show you how you can use Tinkercad to make really nice pixel art really easily. So yeah, we'll do this a little bit later though, because I want to make the body first. So the first thing is I want to grab the USB hub. So I took it out of its plastic. Tinkercad is awesome. Yeah, Tinkercad's all right. It definitely has its limitations, but I like it for what it can do. So I like mixing them up. My biggest complaint with Tinkercad is the limit on polygons. So you can't have as many polygons as you can with other models, and so when you export stuff, you end up getting this like stair step. And that's the only thing I don't like about Tinkercad. Oh, also the fact that models aren't parametric, so you have to go back and like since models aren't parametric, if you mess something up, you have to like go back and like do all this work to like get them back to what they like what you actually want to change. Like if you change one number, you got to change everything, which is kind of a pain. So today we're going to move it off into, and along with that, I'm going to start playing music too. So I have my little handy dandy thing right here to show me kind of what we're looking at. So I'm thinking I have my calipers here and my USB hub. So I'm gonna do get a quick measurement of what I want it, how big I need it to be. But I'm planning on rewiring it, and that'll be in when I make a video about this later. That'll be what I talk about is how I do the rewiring for it. But I would kind of like to pop some of the pieces off of this so I can decrease the profile of the actual board itself. because the board itself is... The board itself is 95, let's call it 98 millimeters thick. So I need it to be larger than that because I don't want it to be really skinny. But I could inset it, actually. So I don't necessarily need to, but it needs to be bigger than that. Let's call it... Maybe we do 98's probably good. So let's do a new sketch here where let's do 98. It'll be I always find showing the actual process for how I make this really funny because you'll see how little I actually plan this stuff before I make it. Because it's parametric, I can go back and change it. So I've gotten a little, not lazy, but I've gotten very loose with my measurements. I just kind of throw a number in just to see what will look good. And then I want to extrude this up the same amount, so 98. So right now I've got a nice cube. If this was a statue in Greece, this would be our marble that we cut out from here. So, it's tempting to round all of the corners, and I kind of want to. I don't know, though. Should I? I think I should, but... What do I do? What do I do? I think I want to round all the corners because I think it's going to look better. Oh, that's right. Hold on. I want to show off a special feature that you can do. If you click one of the faces, it will automatically round every corner. So I want to make sure that all the faces are selected. Nice. Okay. All the faces are selected. And I definitely don't want one. Let's Yeah, I know you hear no audio. It's because I keep hitting my toggles. Let me fix that real quick. That's really funny. Yeah, I keep hitting my toggles for sound. I'll just try and not hit them from now on. So I don't know. I don't know if I like 10. Let's try 8. Now your audio. Yeah. So, I think this might be the winner. What? I want the front. I think 8 might be the winner because it's not as harsh as 10 is, but it's not as thin as 5 is. So I think that's what we go with for right now. And then I want to make a new sketch on this face. And I want to... Actually, I think I want to start from the top and go down. New sketch. Oh, good. I can just extrude it down. That's perfect. So if you hit the other way, hit remove, and then we said it was 98, so it would be 90. That should be down to where... Perfect. Look at that. So that should make the inside hollow. Perfect. I might add this back later, but I want to keep it hollow for right now so it makes some of my measurements look better. So I want to make a new sketch. And I want to, if I hit offset here and then this face and then angle it inside, hit enter, and then put in the amount that I want to inset it by. I think I'm going to pick 1.5 for right now because that looks good to me. And then this face right here, I want to extrude that back to remove it. 2.5 looks to be perfect for me. So we're going to call it 2.5. So you can see there, that's really thick. But that's exactly, I think, what we want. All right, so then go to fillet here. And if we press fillet these sides here, this should give us a really cool effect. Now we don't want 8. Let's look at 5 instead. Look at it from the front. 3, 2, 1.5. Perfect. That is beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted. Now that looks so sharp. Do you have any tips for 3D printing a phone case? I have never printed a phone case, but there is a YouTuber that I watch that has done 3D printed phone cases. I believe his name is Make Anything. He has done 3D printed phone cases, and they look dope when he makes them. But I have not made a phone case. I'm actually thinking about doing that in the future. I just have never done it because my new phone requires MagSafe, and there's not really a great way to add MagSafe to a something that you make yourself. Okay. So that guy is so cool. His content is so good. Yeah, I love his multicolored prints for a single extruder, where he like prints like a globe. That stuff is so cool. I love that. All right, that's looking exactly how I want it to look. I wonder if, though, from the top that this is going to be a little too thick. Okay, so here's the plan for the top. I would like to add a lid so that you can insert the USB hub from the top rather than from the bottom. There is a hole in the specific USB hub that I'm using. And I want to add a peg for that. Hopefully... Where are the LEDs? Oh, perfect. They're on this side, which is just what I wanted. So let's add the screen first, and then we'll add the parts for the electronics next. So what I was thinking is I could have, if you go back to the original concept here, you can see this was kind of the idea. So the USB hub sits right here. Those are the places that you can like access the USB itself. And here you could swap out the faceplates for the actual TV. And the way that I wanted to do those was they have this little lip on them. and that way it's like a rail system right here. And I want to duplicate this. However, I want to flip it so that it's like this. And the image is on this face instead, and this comes out like this, because that way when you slide the new screen in, the image doesn't get like bump into the tolerance. So that's what I'm going to do for the screen here. But what I need measurements for that. So we already know that this face right here is, if we go in and make a new sketch, we go in and make a new sketch and dimension this wall. It's not going to let me do that. It's 87 by 87 it should be. So 87 by 80... Oh, wait, no. 82. Oh, 82 by 82. That's my bad. So, we know that this square is 82. So, we know that the rectangle has to be 82. On the sides here. And then, oh, I just thought about something. How am I gonna do that? Adding MagSafe, you can buy for like $1 magnetic ring and add it during a pause on the print. Yeah, I had looked at that. I just haven't done it. That's why I said it's not super easy. Like for non-MagSafe, ones, you just print it and pull it off the printer. Yeah, I just hadn't gotten around to testing it. There's too much stuff I wanna do that I just don't have time for. So I'm thinking I want to give an extra lip for everything to lay in. And how much space do I have on either side? Oh, I think this is 1.5. That's perfect. Yeah, didn't I? Hold on. The sketch right here. Yeah, 1.5. 1.5. Perfect. Okay. New sketch on this face. I want to try, but I'm not an iPhone noob. Lol. Does Android not use MagSafe or like whatever they call wireless charging because they're nerds? It gotta have something. 82 minus that. That would be 80.5. What is that running into? Wait, why can't it do that? What's the error? Creality or FlashForge? Which one is better? I honestly don't know. I can't say I've really... I see what the issue is. It's running into that the extrusion that's gone away. Okay, so I need to cut this off right here. Right. Creality or FlashForge? I have not used the FlashForge, so I don't know. But I like Creality a lot. Almost all of my active machines are Creality, but there are some things about Creality I legitimately don't like how much you have to tinker with their devices to get them running. But some people really like that, and I've been liking it more and more. There's also a huge community for Creality products. So one thing I think we're going to run into here is that I need this inside to be I need this inside where the USB strip is going to sit to be 95, and I think it's not even close to 95. I wouldn't say they don't put a lot of effort into their machines. I think they make for... You got to look at your product through two different lenses. What audience you're trying to pitch it to, and what you think your company can feasibly do. And I think Creality cornered the market of price. They are the cheapest and most reliable printers on the market. No other company compares to them in that regard. And so that's the niche that they carved out for themselves, is that they found that cheap but reliable printers were what they would make. So when you go for cheap, you're not going to always have the highest quality parts. They also have recently been rushing out a lot of their products and not necessarily giving them the time to test. However, I will say every company now is guilty of that. I say budget, you pay for it with your time. Yeah, I guess that's true. I think there's no shame in... I think when people say that, it sounds negative, but I think having started with a printer that was similar to a bamboo printer, where the main appeal was that you had this community, or you had this company backing it, but everything was proprietary. It meant that the company could really like screw you over. And so I started off with a XYZ DaVinci 2.0. And that's why I'm so hesitant to go with a company that markets themselves on their support, because then that means that there's stuff that you can't have access to. And that we're kind of seeing that with bamboo. My Creality SE has been out 3 times, but my Flash Forge still prints great quality after 2 years. Yeah, that's kind of the trade-off that you have with Creality, is their machines are cheaper. Now, I don't think it necessarily means that they're worse. It just means that they're cheaper. Okay. So if I wanted to have a new sketch, if I wanted to have a rectangle that was 96. Yeah, I think unfortunately I'm gonna have to make this bigger. That'd be 101. Let's go back to our original sketch. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make it more. Okay. And then this will be 101. Now, what does that do to my other measurements? I think they're still okay. Let's make a new sketch here. So any plans for Smurf 2024? It's the first weekend of December. There's no way that I am making my way to all the way to you for that. I'd love to, but it's just not feasible. Shoot. Why is that not lining up? I have to go film a video. Be back in 20 minutes. All right, see ya. We can top and tail. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. That must be British slang. So this is 8 on either side. So 96 plus 8. That's why I'm missing it so much. I don't know, though. It's going to be, like, huge. And it's going to be so much wasted space. I wonder if there's a way that I could cut it so that it can fit in this space that I have it for. There's so much wasted space on this board, but I'm worried if I cut it, then it's not going to be able to work anymore. Unfortunately. Never mind, I'm not explaining that as it sounds wrong. I mean, slang in other countries is really difficult to explain. We can split the cost of a hotel room. Yeah, no, my problem is if I wanted to fly to the UK right now, I think it would cost me $600. Maybe even more. Actually, no, that's probably a lie. It would probably cost me $1,000 to fly to the UK right now. So I don't know if I could pull that off. I would love to. Where is Smurf, by the way? Is it in the UK or is it in Germany? I can't remember. Manchester, England. So it is in England. So that might make it easier to actually go to. So I want the board to hang off a little bit so that the light can shine out. So I want the board to sit in like this. I wish I could trace the face of the board somehow. That would be so nice if I could. Because then I could just make a custom inset for it. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Take a photo with a coin? Oh, yeah, you're right. As like a size gauge. Yeah, no, I just mean like, I want to trace the shape of the PCB. But like, I don't want to... It's not that important. I just need to get some measurements for it. I'm trying to think if I should measure the case or if I should measure the... No, I'll measure the board. So it's 39 from the left. But oh wait, I haven't made a cutout for it yet. So I want to sit near the top, and it needs to sit proud of the top by... I need to make up for... How thick is the... How thick is the case? It's the easiest way that I can measure this. Trying to think how I can measure this. I think the only way I'm going to be able to measure this is to break it. Goodbye. I'm sorry. What size of the screen on this, and what's the chances AliExpress has one you could power off the USB hub? So this one actually does let me power off the USB hub. I don't know what it's like in the UK, but in the US we have like Five Belows everywhere, and this is a USB hub that I got at Five Below for like $250. So that's why I'm using it for this project. I also really wanted this to be like something that people at home could make too. Shoot, I should have thrown that out. Leave that piece. Alrighty. Whew, that one broke off with a little bit more plastic than I want. I'm actually talking a display. Oh gosh. That's a little bit outside of my coding knowledge. So it is 2 millimeters thick. That's how thick the topper is for the default plastic. So this can actually go up a little bit more. Now, what I want to see here is... So this is from the top, actually. What's stopping it? I think it's just that. I need a USB plug. Ah, there we go. My camera. Because I'm not using my camera. Oh yeah, we would be good if that was how it was. Yeah, we'd be golden. Sweet. I could design like a thing that comes down and presses on the board to stop it from... Oh no, never mind. I could, since I have this lip here. This needs to go up more. Now subtract 2 from that, so it'd be 98. What? 89. No, 88. There we go. Okay. So that sits proud of it by 2 millimeters, which means that now the top has enough to drop down. Should be perfect. So I want these to sit. Kind of thinking like right here, maybe. Okay. Let's do... How thick is this? Let me see. .26 millimeters. Okay. So this whole thing is 66. If I walk back by 25, and I want to give a little bit of space. So if it's 25, let's say 30. That should be good. Now, how far away from the top of the lid does it like to sit? Let me measure. At 15 millimeters. So I'm going to extrude this up by 88 and then go down. One 1.5, and then what I want to do is draw from here. Perfect. And then I should have made these all construction. Corner triangle, boom. Perfect. And extrude this down by 15. Perfect. There we go. Okay. So, check the link. Where did you send me a link? Did you send it to me in general again? Is this a USB hub? What is this? LCD display micro USB driver board. Maybe? That would be kind of cool though. Yeah, maybe I'll have to... Kind of tempted to grab one. That would be my first prop if I built something similar to the Sonic screen thingy. I would be happy to re-engineer this slightly to fit that screen if you do end up buying it, because you could send me measurements of what the actual model looks like. Yeah, this gives so much extra space in here that I don't like. I'm wondering if maybe we make it a little less square. Do you think that would be okay? Christmas gift right there if you want it. I'm going to make this, let's say 80. How does that make everything? See, that looks much better from like a wasted. Actually, I like that. I'm gonna be honest. I think I like this a lot better than I did with the other one. Now, see, why is this like this? Oh, that is really odd. Why is it doing that? Because I extruded this up, isn't that? That's why. That shouldn't be cutting into the floor at all. Don't know why that is. I'll look for a similar thing later. Gotcha. Yeah, I really haven't delved into all of the extra stuff that AliExpress can give you. And I need to. So 15.5, remember that. 15.5, 15.5, 15.5, 15.5, 15.5. So plus 15, that would be 30, 40.5. And that should run perfectly. Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay, let's make a new sketch here. $15.5 plus 15 equals... No, 15.5 plus 25 was what I was doing. Alright, so this is 85. and this is 64. Okay. $85 and 64. I gotta write that down because I'm gonna forget it if I don't. Listening and not looking is epic. Yeah, I agree. Not having, yeah, context clues for all the numbers I keep spewing. Yeah, let's call that 26. So that'd be 4 then that I'd need to make this. I turned off all my hotkeys because I keep hitting my numpad by default. A bit embarrassing, yeah? So if this is 82 and I need it to be 96, I believe. Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm measuring the board as I'm saying numbers out loud. So I'm doing the subtraction not out loud. So the board itself is 26, so 30 minus 26 would be 4. That's what I was saying. And then this is 96 long. And so if it is 82, 90, 82... 96 minus 82 need to be adult. Aw, rats. 8. Oh my gosh. 7. That's what I need. Okay. And then down here, I need 7 as well. Okay. And then I need a rectangle to go from here to here. Perfect. Finish that sketch off. And then sketch 7. To extrude that up. Oh, beautiful. Remove. Okay. So that's where the board, this is where the board will sit. It'll sit pretty nice in there. And so what I need to do now is I need to make the lid to go on top of this. But what else do I need to... Oh, I need to do the cable routing. Okay. So from... Hey, thank you. My CR10's done, everybody. Look. You got to see that in real time. Those wires might get squished. Huh. Actually, I think they'd be okay. Yeah, because the board will sit like that. Yeah, no, they'll be okay. They'll be okay. They'll be okay. So let's say you take off 10 on the left side here. So let's edit the sketch on here. And let's take off 10. Okay. Done with that sketch. Oh. What is that? Oh, that's the sketch that I did. And I want to extrude that down. That'll give a perfect channel for the wiring then to go down to like around here, where it can then come out from the device. So that is probably perfect. I'm back, yo. Good to have you back. Hope the filming went well. So 39 from the left. And then the circle has a diameter of 4.5. Which I'm going to go a little bit less than that because the printer might mess up a little. So I'm going to do 4.2. I have to finish editing, which I will do tomorrow. I noticed you use CapCut. I got to learn how to use CapCut because I am not too familiar with it. And that is 8. Excuse me. Let's make a new sketch there. I need to go up 8 and over 39. Those are the two measurements that I need for this. If this is that same song, gosh darn it. It keeps playing Happy Birthday. Why does it keep playing Happy Birthday? It's not my birthday. Okay. CapCut is... I would guess that CapCut would be easy. No offense towards you, but a lot of people use CapCut, so if it was hard, I feel like people wouldn't use it as much. I just need to do it. I haven't gotten around to it. 4.2, so that would be 2.1. And then I make the circle. Boom, look at that. And then how much do I want that to go up? Gosh darn it, it's still playing Happy Birthday. I go one day where I'm like, let's play some different music so I don't get copyrighted on this on today on this stream. Let's just do like 2 millimeters. It doesn't need let's do 3 just to make it kind of nice. That's just to hold the board in place so it doesn't move around. Actually, I should probably make it bigger than that. And then I want to round off the top just so it's like a nicer... can I do 2? I can! Sweet. Okay. So that will hold the board in place while it's inside the housing. So, got the board here. Now I've got to figure out where to put all of the cutouts for the... Actually, I don't think I need to do that just quite yet. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Yeah. Will you smash it for the video as a bit? That's a really funny idea. I actually might. Once I print it, I shouldn't say this on stream, but I'll probably cheat it by throwing a bunch of smashed shit that I already have and just being like, yeah, this is me. But I will smash it as a bit. That's very funny. But I'm thinking this is looking good. What should I do next? Print a version with like one wall, no infill. You only need to fake it for like a few frames and then smash the shit out of it. Yeah, no, that sounds really funny. I'm definitely going to try and do that. So right now I'm trying to figure out how to get the screen to go into this. Because I don't know if you were here for it, but I want to do this so that I can swap the faceplates on it. And so I'm just trying to think of how I can make it and hide it in... Sorry, I'm not saying anything. I'm thinking really hard about this. Perfect for a pi 0. No. If you don't want your pi 0s, give them to me. I will take them. I wish I knew the dimensions of that. Oh, I do. 82. Okay. Sweet. So that's 82 by 82. Oh, man, I just got a brain blast. No, I think I should print it with negative infill, so it actually just takes parts out of the wall. So, all right, let's make the... How much can I cut into this? Let's see. I have poor connection. Oh, no. Not to the servers. No. What am I ever going to do? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. A slot in the bottom. And how thick do I want to make it? I'm thinking 2 millimeters. That's probably good. And then I can do one of these Johnnies. And then I can... Right there. Perfect. And I need that to cut into it by just 1 millimeter. Let's just do 2 millimeter. Yeah, because it just needs to sit in there. And then the best part is I don't have to cut anything on the sides either to make it sit flush. And I actually, the more I think about it, since I'm switching out the top, so the top like is a piece that goes in, I don't actually have to have a lip in it. I can just have it be like a straight piece, which is sick. I mean, I got a 0, but doesn't have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, so that's super sad. No way, my Ender also finished, apparently, even though... Oh, wait, yeah, it did finish. You can see it. Isn't that epic, guys? Both of my prints finished on stream. So, let's make the plates. So the plates are now good to go in there. And I believe that this is 82 by 82 as well. Yeah, or no, this says 85. It is crazy that both of the prints finished. It's almost like I planned it. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I don't know how I'm going to get that angle. Okay. Let's work on the plate, the top plate, because I think now the body is finished. I don't know how I'm going to make this middle piece easier to print. Unfortunately. Huh. What could I do? Yeah, I think unfortunately I'm just going to have to put support material here to catch this lip. Because there's not really an easy way to support that. Unless I printed it like this. And then supported it this way. But then I'd also have to support this. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I kind of don't like this piece right here. And if I make the... Go top view and number the corners? No, screw you. I don't care about you. No, I'm kidding. Why do you need to... No, why do you need the top corners numbered for us? For you? Ugh. Oh, I forgot the buttons on it, too. Do I have a Patreon? Oh, I wish I had a Patreon. I'm starting to think that this is too thin in here. Like that it needs more. I'm looking at... I'm looking at the drawing and I feel like this isn't enough thickness. Because it also has the black part. And that could be the way that I support it, is with that black part. What? What the? Did somebody just join? Oh, Dreams just joined. You scared the shit out of me there for a sec. Okay, I got an idea on how to support it. Because there's that part that's like black. Okay. Ah. Wait, was your audio not working or what was... Oh. Was your audio not working or something? The background noise is terrible. Okay. I thought it was because I was muted in Discord. I'm like... I don't know. Urgh. Let's offset this by more. Let's say 3. And then we'll make the fillet more. Oh, it didn't fill at this bottom part for some reason. That looks much better. What sketch is this? Wait, what's sketch 8? The heck? Why is sketch 8 messing up? What external references are missing? Okay. Whatever. I don't know what is messing up with it. I have an idea for splitting it, but typing it is terrible. The one thing I could do is make this entire front like a piece that you print separately and put on. I don't know how that would look. Do you have a Patreon for models? No, I don't. I'm trying to decide what I want to do about models. I'd love to sell models, but I don't know. This might be a personal thing, and I don't want to be like... I don't want to sound like a... how do I say this? I feel like in order to charge for my models, I have to use Printablocks connectors to fix it on. Ew! No, that's too complicated. But it's not a bad idea. I like the idea behind it. So back to selling models. I don't mind selling. I would love to sell my models, but there's two things that have stopped me from it. One, I feel like in order to sell your models, you're saying to people that they're worth money, and I don't want to like... I don't want people to feel like I'm charging a price for models that aren't good enough. Like, I don't know if my models are good enough to sell. I don't know if that sounds like weird or not. Also, I myself, I don't enjoy paying for models very much because I like the idea of having the flexibility of a project be behind something like printables where most of the models are free. However, it would be really nice if all of my effort was rewarded. What I'm kind of thinking is I would like to sell physical versions of everything that I 3D print and make money that way, but it's taking forever to kind of set that up, and so I'm almost leaning towards maybe doing something like a Patreon. I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle because I don't want people to think that I'm a peon, like I only do this for money. Because I do this because I enjoy it. But, I mean, money makes the world go round. And it would be nice because then I could spend more money on stuff for the channel. I'm kind of just in the middle on it. Maybe I could set up like a Ko-fi or something like that. Like a, what's it called? Like a donation thing where like people can donate to me. Because Patreon means I have to put out more content. And that's not exactly in the cards right now. But I wouldn't mind it. Okay, I got an idea on how we're going to make the top. I would donate. That means a lot to hear. Thank you. Instead, what I think I'm shooting for right now is I'd like to get to partner as soon as I can on YouTube. That way I might be able to start making a little bit of money off of things like AdSense, even though it wouldn't be very much. I could, you know, maybe make a little bit, and maybe down the line I'd do something like super chats like other VTubers. That would probably make me more comfortable than setting up like a donation bin. I don't know. It's kind of difficult. How do I duplicate this part? I was actually trying to find the super chat. Yeah, so super chats are only for when you're partner. That's why I've been trying to grind for partner, because I want to do stuff. So I want to do fun stuff with super chats like other VTubers do, but I also don't want people to think that I'm rushing to get super chats so I can make money. It's kind of like a... That's why I want... That's why I was talking to Kirby about this, because he has like channel points, and YouTube doesn't really do channel points. I thought that you could duplicate parts. Can you not? Can you not duplicate parts? Really? Let me make a new part studio. Oh, there we go. I got it. Perfect. Delete. There we go. Yeah, all that being said about donations, it means the world that you would be like interested in donating. I don't have that kind of stuff set up because I'm kind of on the fence about how I want to do it. But I'm definitely looking into it because it would make it way easier for me to do stuff on the channel. Because right now this is just a hobby, so yeah. Let me just go like... It would also, if I was bigger and I got sponsorships, I could do more stuff with, I could do bigger projects, which would be cool. I'd really love to do something with Micro Center. I doubt they would ever sponsor me, but it would be really cool. All right, let's see. And I want to go like 100. Actually, I want to go like 120. Perfect. Now... Okay, good. That is still safe. See, how do I... So what I'm thinking here is that I can... Oh, wait. I got it. I can just extrude this back. Yes! And make up for the distance that I missed. Yes! Okay, perfect. Let's see. 26. Perfect. That's the exact amount. It's 26. And then this is... Okay. Now I want to... Part 2. And... Whoop. Part 3? No. Okay, good. Gosh, it's playing the same music again. So there's a little bit of a gap. Hopefully that doesn't come out in the final print too bad. But basically what I'm trying to do is recreate this so that I can make the top here. So let's get... let's use this as our new working surface. And I want to then... no, I don't want that. There we go. This sketch, And then I want to extrude it up to... Perfect. Oh, that looks beautiful. Okay. Get rid of 1 because I do not want to mess up 1. And then 2 and 3 I want to delete. So we just have these. And then if you highlight all of them, and then there should be Boolean up here. There it is, Boolean, which should make all of those into one part, which it seems to have done that. Perfect. Look at that. So now we've got our lid made. Let's go. Woo! All right. So now if we get rid of that. So the edge of the lid is the edge of the part that we're looking at. So right there. And got to get my calibers back out because when I was talking about pricing, I got nervous and I put them away by accident. But we are... I hope you guys are learning a little bit from everything that I'm doing, and I'm not just going so fast that you don't know what I'm doing. But I've been using some complicated-ish techniques here. Like I just used a thing called a Boolean. If you have parts that have faces that are touching each other and you click on them and hit Boolean, it's basically like the group function. It has a more in-depth reasoning for it mathematically. I just don't remember what it is. Basically, it's just a group. I also did a thing where I copied part 1 and to make part 2. But that's pretty easy. You just hit copy here. Okay. So from the left, we've got to the edge of... Oh, wait. I could just use the original housing for this, maybe. Let's see how close is it to the original. Oh, it's not close. Dang it. Like 2 millimeters off? Okay. Sweet. Seven minus 2 is 5. Okay. So 5. And from the top. And then how far from the housing? 5 millimeters. I don't even know what I'm measuring anymore. I'm just holding calipers up and sticking my tongue out as I try and measure. Okay, so if I have the LED like this to the USB, there's basically no amount amount of space there. It's basically flush with the top. So the top edge is 6 from the edge up at the top. Okay, let's make a sketch right here. And I want to go this way and then down. And we said it was 6. 6 over. And then the actual thing is... Ooh, I could measure this on the plastic. It's fantastic. $15 long and 7.5. Okay. And that is... We said 15. 15 point... Let's say 15.2. Okay. So then I want to make boom, boom. So that's going to be where the USB is. And then I need to make 4 more of these. And they are, each one is... basically 5.1 millimeters apart. It's Q. That's what makes them construction. Ace, come on. And then I want to copy this. I wish it worked like that. So then there's my third. And here is my fourth. Perfect. So now I click on all of these. And I hit equal. So now they're all equal to 7.5. And then I hit this, 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 and hit equal. And now those are all equal to 15.5. Now the final thing is I click this, this, and this, and then I hit equal, and boom, there we go. We've got our USB ports ready. Additionally, what we'll need is the openings for the switches. Now these should be easier because I don't have to measure them from here. I can use the USBs themselves as the measurement tool. So all I have to find is this distance here and the distance between each one, like this distance. And then I can just make those. So from any of these ports, the bottom is 3.5. I'm going to do 3.6. Because that's what it looks like to me. And then I think that actually, yeah, the rectangles are actually equal in terms of their length. So man, I forgot. I'm upside down now. Go. Make another rectangle. Make sure if you're doing something like this, make sure you don't accidentally snap to something. So all of these are just, as you can see, I'm just drawing them randomly. That's because we'll constrain them in a second. And then the reason that I'm doing this is that if I print this and these are off in any way, just changing one of these will change all of them. So I don't have to redo all of these rectangles, which will save me so much time. Hopefully in the, well, not hopefully, because you don't want your stuff to be the improper measurements. But if it is, then hopefully it'll be much easier for me to change those. So then I do like before, here, here, and here, and then this one, and then hit equal. And that will, now look at that. And then I want this one, 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 and just this one, and say equal. So now all of those are equal. Now the question is, wait, why are these? Oh, because I haven't dimensioned these, how long this is. So each of these is 10.8 millimeters long. 10.8. Now I do like I did before. Whoop. Here, here. I already dimensioned that. Here, 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 and say equal. Now, as you can see, all of them have turned black, the lines, so that means they are fully dimensioned. This sketch now, to the best of my abilities, is finished. So I can now hit extrude and do all of these USB ports and hit remove. Now, we should have this right here is so skinny. Oh my gosh. So this should now be ready to go. That is looking really good. That's looking like exactly what I want it to. So I'm going to take a short break to look up the USB hub that I have so that I can show it on screen real quick. It is a... Oh, there it is. It's on Amazon. Perfect. So, oh, this is great. This is great. This is great. This is great. So, save image as STL. I have a folder in my STL file. In my STL folder on my hard drive, I have a stuff made by me folder. And I want to save the URL. Oh, back. What did I miss? I made the lid, and I also am making for the future, a text document. I'm making a text document where I save the there. I'm saving the USB hub so that I can show you what USB hub I got. Granted, when I got it, it was... What are you guys chatting about in general? Oh my gosh. I look down and it's like, y'all are yapping. So, Dreams. The, what I just put in general, that is the USB hub that I have bought. Granted, when I got it, it was like a couple dollars. Now it's close to 10. But I think you can see that I'm doing a really great job of fitting it in. Anyway. So, now we need to make the space for the LCD. Or, sorry, the screen. The actual screen. So, I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I should make this a part that just pops off. That way you can print this. But see, it's rounded, so it's going to, like, print really weird. Either way. I have to look at this fillet, because this fillet's probably going to be really hard to print. Now that I look at it. I don't know. Anyway. New sketch. Just add a brim and it'll be fine. Well, what I mean is, like, the actual, like, shape here, this rounded, might be difficult for the printer to handle. I don't know. I hear people complain about fillets in so many videos. They're like, stop designing your 3D models with fillets. I'm like, okay. Oh, sorry. Didn't know it was going to offend you. How much? I want that to go down, remove, what did we say, like 3 millimeters? Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to decide if I pop this front off or not. Costco pizza? Costco pizza is swag. Alright. So I think we pretty much made the main body. So now I'm going to go and start working on the screen. Which actually, I wanted to make the screen in Tinkercad. I don't know why I'm trying to make it here. So I want the screen to be... This is 79, I believe. Let's open that sketch back up. $79 by... How tall do we want it? New sketch from the right. Oh wait, that channel isn't accessible. I need to make it in here. So that channel's actually wrong. Yeah, just missed the funny number, didn't I? Just missed the funny number. I gotta get rid of this so I can see in there. Ah! How thick do I want it? 2 millimeters is what we discussed. So 2 millimeters. And I want it to connect all the way to right there. I have to keep resetting my music because it keeps playing Happy Birthday. we go. Perfect. And then extrude that down by 2 millimeters. So you doing hue forged lithophanes? Gosh, I wish. I haven't tried those. This might be an excuse to do that, but that's not what I'm designing it for. Because it's really thick. As you can see, it's 2 millimeters thick. No, instead what I wanted to do was... the plan was at least to... the clear part, I do a filament swap. So now that we have the space, so we just stated how big this is going to be with this piece right here. And that is 2. So it's 2 by 82 by... How tall do we need it to be? That's a good question. So actually, the light, I'm glad you brought that up. The LEDs actually have a light on them naturally. And what I'm hoping to do with this is use the lights from the actual USB hub itself, because when you turn on one of the USB hubs at one of the USB ports, it lights up blue, and they're like right here. So this right here, I'm actually going to do that right now. I don't want it that steep. So I'm going to do it like this so that the light gets like angled towards it. I'm hoping it looks nice. If not, I'll custom wire the LEDs myself. But yeah, it has a light. It has a backlight to light it up. That's why I'm planning on doing it with clear plastic. Which the idea for this is similar to the Disney Heart Box that I did around Valentine's Day. So if you saw that video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So what I need to figure out here is, what is that number? So from here, I don't know. That's kind of tough, hard to get. That's a hard number to figure out. It's not 80. 82? That's too much. Is it 81? It is 81, ladies and gentlemen, so we will do 82 for ours, because then it makes it a perfect square. Yeah, so I am to answer your question, Dream, I am planning on putting a light in, or using the light that the USB hub emits as the backlight for the actual design, which I think will be a really cool effect once it's all printed out. Okay, so that's the main body all finished, all wrapped up. Now I'm going to move on to the screen, which I'm super excited to show off here. So we need to make the actual screen, which is going to be 2, and then in the X and the Y, it's going to be 82 by 82. So over here is our screen for reference. I want to make this. Can I make it? What color's a good one? Make it gray, I guess. So the whole thing is 2 millimeters thick, and then this is 2 millimeters as well. And the way that I'm gonna do the filament swap, hopefully, is see, the problem is that the LCD screen is 84 by 84, but look at that. That is whoa! You could put a whole LCD screen right in there. That's sick. I can't believe I nailed it like that. It would take like slight modification of the case for it to fit in. That's sick. I might be able to get away with this. See, 3 filament swaps is kind of rough for this. Because it's going to take forever. But I guess it wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, anyway. Oh, got a text I gotta look at. Sorry, guys. Dude, that screen is your Christmas gift for sure. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so if it's 25 by 21, multiplying this by 2 would be 50. I keep hitting numpad. Multiplying this by 2 would be 42. Okay. That still isn't enough. Let's see, if I multiply 25 by 3, that's 75. And if I multiply this by 3, it is 63. Now, one thing we have to remember is that this is going to be 2 millimeters less. You're only going to see 80 of it. But actually, you know what? I'm just going to make this 80. And then try my best to center it. Let's take off 5. 70. And then what's 5 off of that? That would be 50. 58. Yeah. How does that look? I don't know, I really like that. Maybe over it by just a hair. I think that's like perfect. That looks exactly like what I want it to look like. I don't know. What do you guys think? Give me your feedback. I want to make this 81.5 though, which shouldn't change the way that it looks. Yeah, no, we're good. And I want to change this to be 2.5, or no, 1.5, so that it gives it a little bit more wiggle room, and I want this to be 1.5, but the rest of it I think it'll be perfect. And so what I'm thinking is I print this and I do 3 filament swaps. It would actually it would be 4 filament swaps, because the first part would be in clear, and then you have the white part of the face, and then you have the blue part of the head, then the white part of the eyes and the mouth, then the tan part, and I'd have to color this black because they're on the same part. How it feels to print when you don't have multicolor. Everything's way more complicated. But yeah, I think that this is perfect then. And I am going to then dupe this. So that I can make more of them. Use each part as a negative and snap it together. Yeah, so what since I know the measurement here is 2, I like to give myself 0.5, which is basically 2 layer heights. Yeah, 2 layer heights of tolerance. So I know that I want this to be if the actual dimension is 82, I want it to be 81.5, as you can see here. The height actually doesn't matter because I'm putting the cap on it. And if I need to, I can always sand the top just a little bit because it'll be really cool. I mean, the screen image bit. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, I see what you mean. So, like, make this right here, make them all negatives and put them together. I see what you mean. Yeah. You could, but then you got a bunch of little tiny parts. I don't want those to, like... Yeah, I guess I do have them here as separate parts. I don't know, I just don't like that, because then... You're right. I don't know, though. I don't like it. I'll think about it. I could always just hit this and then hit ungroup, and then boom, there you go. You've got it. I wish there's a... Oh, transparent. There we go. So that's what this is going to look like with the backlight then on it. I think it's going to look sick. So, let me show you guys. Put them in from behind. I would rather put them in on top than... Because they... Because if I put them in from behind... I don't know. The eyes and the nose is a single bit with a layer to form them. Yeah. I might play around with this a little bit. I've never really found a way that, like... Because these are all different layer heights. Like 1.5, 2, 2... But I might make this 1 point. Because if I make this 2, it cuts a lot of that out. Guess it wouldn't matter. And then use this, and this. Here, let's do that. Duplicate it. Zero. Use this, turn it into a hole, merge it with this. Should be good. All right, there we go. 70.25, 58.25. And down here, I want 70.5 and 58.5. Perfect. Now this and this are like this, and this sits down into it like that. Now if I ungroup this, I think that'll look perfect. And so then what I can do is I can export all of these as separate STLs, and I could print them, or I can just group this whole thing together and print it as one color. I think this will look great. What does kind of bother me though a little bit is that overlap. Hopefully those will still fit. I'll have to check this out. I'll have to do some tests because I'm starting to run a little bit low on time, and these are like semantic stuff that's not necessarily that important for stream. So what I want to show off is how I make pixel art in Tinkercad. I think it's really, Tinkercad's a great resource to make pixel art. And I fooled you all. You all thought this is gonna be another Minecraft art stream, and we're just making pixel art. So here I have my references. First thing I want to make is the ring. So I want to start with the yellow. So I'm just going to start with like the top left and make my way down. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's I already messed it up. But if you have your Tinkercad on snap grid of 1.1 millimeter, which my model is covering right now, you can make, if you have your thing at 1 millimeter and you make each block 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter, it'll snap grid to making pixel art, which is super cool. So 3 down like that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then down 3 from there, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These ones in here are white, so those aren't what I want. Like that. Perfect. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. I really enjoy making pixel art. I used to make pixel art all the time whenever I would get time in okay, so I used to make pixel art all the time when I was on my lunches at work and stuff. Okay, 1, 2. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. I never thought of doing this. You taught me something. Thank you. I'm honored. This is how I make pixel art for stuff that I want to like do. I want to add pixel art to more of my designs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. Okay, perfect. That's all the yellow. I'm gonna try and find another music track to use, because this is like the same. Okay. And then all you have to do is just switch the color, and boom, you're ready to go. Like, watch this. Now I'm gonna do white. So now I'm in white. So now I just click on it and I can make white. It's sick. I love it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. Perfect. Actually, that's not perfect. I missed a yellow. Dang it. This one's supposed to be yellow. Yeah. Okay. And then that should go boom, boom, boom. And the best part, this is, I think, where Tinkercad really shines, because it will copy things that you do. So like moving these blocks around, it will duplicate them and then put them in spots to make this way easier on you. Like, look at that. And there's all the yellow, or the white, I mean. Now I want to do the black. And then, so I think it's this one right here. Let me do the outside first. I don't know. This is so much fun for me. I love doing pixel art. Because I'm not actually good at art, so this is like my way to be artistic. Whoop, I messed that up. I was getting too excited. Look at, there it is. Okay. So I actually, one thing I recommend, which I messed up here, is once you finish a color, you group them all before you continue doing another color, which I messed up because I got too excited. I'm going to do white first because I think there's the most white. Thank you, Dreams. I mean, I think it's because Gigi's my sister, and so it's like, compared to Gigi, I'm not artistic. Like, she got all the artistic boonge. And then here's a trick that I love to do, especially on Tinkercad, is you can just raise stuff up in the air and then zoom in, and now it's gone, but you can easily just drop it down later. So I'll do black. I think my creativity comes out in how I solve problems, not necessarily in my art, but I do like to every once in a while flex my artistic muscle. All right, and then we got the black, so I'll raise the black up. You edit videos. Oh my god, my editing is ass though. Perfect. And now I can just go like this and group it all, and then it should look perfect now. So I'll hit 0, 0. Look at that! We've got our ring! Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, now I like to make black the top. And so that means it's going to be 2 millimeters. Oh, shoot. I keep hitting my numpad. You've never seen mine? Oh, now you're just being humble. And then this is 1.5. I'll do this as 1.5. And then this as 1.5. Oh, no, this as 1. So then here's our finished ring. So I want to grab everything that's in here, duplicate it, pull it out here, group it together. So the entire thing is 16 by 16, and we want it to be close to this, which was 70. It was like 78 or something. Actually, wasn't it just... Wait. What? 70 by 80. Or 70 by 60. So this is actually perfectly 16 by 16. So whatever we do to the x, we can also do to the y. So if I multiply it by... Let me pull out my calculator real quick. $64, 16, 80. Audio tracks were not leveled out. Fade to/from black hard cuts overlays, which slid in then faded to transparent. Honestly, that's kind of what mine looks like. Not gonna lie. All right, so I want 64 by 64. I mean, you keep hearing I keep accidentally hitting my toggles for sound, so I am no better. Okay. That looks actually better than the Sonic one, not gonna lie. Yeah, that looks amazing. I like that. Alright, now we gotta do the special trickery. So we gotta duplicate this and then raise it to 64.25. 64.25. 64.25. Sorry, 64.5. And then 64.5. And then we raise this up. Oh, no, I want to raise the other one up. Shoot, I want the bigger one. There we go. So, as you can see, it gives a little bit of space for the printer to, you know. And then if I ungroup it, there we go. And then I gotta make this transparent. So there are 2 screens. We got 2 of them done. So what I might do is I might make a copy of this document so that my workspace doesn't continue to get cluttered. I guess I could fit the 3rd one here. And how many more am I really going to do? I have the... So the ring's finished, so I can move on. I want to do the shoe for certain, and maybe I'll do the... I don't know. Will I do the invincibility? Maybe. I don't know. Let's start with just the shoe for right now. The speed shoe. Okay. So here's how you make the pixel art from scratch. You put in a square here. You go 1 by 1. And I like to do by 5. Because it's just big enough where I can grab it pretty easily. Majestic orb. Thank you. Okay, so let's start making the shoe. The shoe's really easy because it's just 2 colors, kind of. I might sub in a 3rd color to make it look better, but... Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Dupe that. All the way over. Dupe another. And this only goes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then this one goes over. Now we're switching to white. You're gonna see this and be like, dang. That's it. That's the whole shoe. So that looks a little scuffed. I think I'm going to add some other colors to give it some depth. I think I'm going to turn these gray. Because that looks a little better right there. And I want to put this over there. So. Again, I forgot to group these as I was making them. So it makes it way longer to do it now. Okay, this is 1 millimeter. This is... I think I want to make this 1.5 and this 2. Actually, I could probably get away with making this 1 and this... actually, let's just make them all... Because it's gonna be so like thin when you stretch it out to like the size of the whole thing. But yeah, compared to the others, the sprite is very small. This is gonna look really rough, I think. I might want to redo the shoe sprite. I don't know, I'm kind of torn on what to do. Down here. Group them all. Yeah, this is only 9 by 7. So even if I multiply this by So if I multiply it by 9, it's 81, which is too big. So 9 times, let's do 8. What does that get me? 72. That's not bad. So that'd be 72. And then 7 times 8. 56. That's a massive shoe. Yeah, I think I should take it down by a little bit. So if I take it down by 8, that would be 6 off of 70, which would be 64. And then I need to take 8 off of this, that would be 48. You know, I don't hate it, honestly. I'm gonna be honest, I don't hate it. I know I was a big hater beforehand, but I don't think I'm hating as much as I was. I'm seeing the vision. I'm seeing the vision. So 64.25, 48.25, and then down here 64.5 by 48.5. Make this a whole. Group it with this. Control group. Make this 0. Ah, no. It needs to be 1. And then ungroup it. Yeah, honestly, I don't hate it. I think it's pretty funny. I like it. I'm going to be honest. I like it. All right? So, what I'm thinking here is... so this is about where I want to end off for today. Because I want to do other stuff today besides stream. Also, I end off around this time when I stream normally. And I covered a lot of stuff today. So yeah. But what I wanted to say in closing, I did it very quick. Or the last thing I want to do before I move on and like move on to closing down the stream. I smashed a drinking glass. I'm a genius. Oh my god. What is it with you watching my one-off streams and like destroying yourself? So, the last thing I wanted to cover technical before I move into closing is you saw that I would take when I was making the hole, I would size it up at the top left corner and then the bottom right corner, and it would end up equaling 0.5 millimeters. So I have found in my printing that 0.5 millimeters of tolerance is just enough to make fits perfect on my printers. Tolerance is never something that you're ever going to get perfect for every printer ever. And since at the end of the day, I'm printing for myself, not for others when it comes for like Q&A or like testing of it, it works. What works for me works for me. Some printers that are more dialed in can probably get better tolerances, but for me, 0.5 or when it slices 2 layers worth of printing is just perfect for most of the fits of everything that I've done. So, here I'll show this with a cylinder here. I'll make one just a millimeter bigger and I'll color it, let's say green. So, as you can see here, these are identical cylinders. If I just type in, say I want this to be that 0.5 less, I go 19.5, you're going to see that it only shrinks it in one length. And if I do the same down, if I do this, so like this, and I go 19.5, it's going to pull it down only in the top right directions. Or the top left, my bad. See, then if I go down here and I go 19 and 19, it is perfectly centered within that cylinder, but it is a millimeter less. So every time that I was going top left and bottom right, it was so that I could make sure that the hole is perfectly centered. So you can see here that the amount of gap on the side here is equal to the amount of gap on this side. Group plus L. What do you mean group plus L? I don't know what. An L? What does that mean? Yeah, what is this? Oh, that's cool. Oh, I see what you mean. Click the middle and then the center of them. I don't want to fuck with this anymore. Yeah, I mean, it gets you to the same place. You're right. Yeah, that works too. But when you're sizing stuff, that's the method that I use for sizing this stuff. Is I scale them both in the angles. So that's how I get these with the extra gap that you can see there. So yeah. All right. Well, I covered quite a bit today. So we did in just Tinkercad, we did pixel art and sizing alignment, even though you can use Control L. And then in Onshape, we covered a ton of stuff. Oh my gosh. We covered Boolean. We covered technically like extrude. We covered how to make parts that fit into each other, which is kind of cool. We covered how to like copy a part so that you can make one into the other. Yeah. We covered quite a bit today, and I'm very proud of the stream today. The only thing that this is missing now is a bottom, but I will make that separately, and it's not too big of a deal because it is just a small little part. And I want to route the cables through. But what I'm really nervous about is all these fits in here, and so I'm probably going to print this out on one of my printers just to make sure that the fit's all right, and then I'll be golden to keep going. But so the plan right here is to route the cables through here and then in through the origin here, like through the circle, so that the bottom part of the TV can have, like, the cord can go out through the bottom and then be routed through there. So yeah, that's the plan there. But there's two things that I have to do before I do that, and that is get wire to solder, because I don't currently have wire. I've just been using old Christmas wire that I cut and solder myself. But my projects have been suffering because I still do that, so I need to improve that. So yeah, we definitely came a hell of a long way from this prototype here, which you can see this is not even in the center. It is off. That is really funny. I use old USB cables. Yeah, it's basically what I'm doing right now. But if I want to make like good stuff, I need to move away from that. So yeah. Oh, the final thing that I didn't get to that I didn't mention there in my wrap up is this small little lip right here is so that you can like put your fingernail in there or something and pop this off if you in order to swap the face plates. E-waste mice. Oh, that's a good idea to steal wire from. But yeah, so this is the conclusion of the... Yeah, we covered a hell of a lot of stuff. Because I also talked about... in the beginning, I talked about the models that I made in the past. I've been doing a lot of model making, which has been fun. So yeah, well, I'm going to move over here into my wrap-up screen then. So yeah, first off, I want to thank everyone for the responses I've gotten to the recent videos that I've been putting out. It seems like the streaming every, or sorry, posting a video every other day has been way more, or Monday and Friday rather than Monday, Wednesday, Friday, has been way better on my analytics than posting 3 times a week, which is great because it allows me to work more efficiently on projects that I really care about, which is exciting. And yeah, the response on TikTok especially has been crazy. Speaking of which, I got to check my TikTok real quick because I hadn't seen recently. Oh my gosh, we made it, and I totally missed it. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I missed that. Well, that is a great way to end off the stream then to celebrate that. So we officially hit 100 followers on TikTok. So now that means that every account of mine, or every main content creation account that I have, has hit over... Oh my gosh. That means that everything, my Twitter or my TikTok and my YouTube page have now hit over 100 subs. So that is super exciting. Oh my gosh. We were close. We were close because my last couple videos did really well on TikTok. But that means we have officially passed 100 subs on, or 100 followers on TikTok. That is super exciting. Well, can think of no better way to end things off there then. But yeah, if you're interested in my content, I will be posting tomorrow and Monday shorts. And like I mentioned, the YouTuber or the VTuber 3D model video will be coming out shortly. Not exactly sure when that'll be. Still got to edit it. But yeah, and then if you're interested in just my streams, on Tuesday next week, I will be streaming Minecraft Tuesday at our regular time of 2 o'clock EST. And then Thursday, I will have another one-off stream, kind of like I'm doing right now. Still not exactly sure what I'll be playing, but I'll be back to an actual game and not just 3D modeling. So yeah, I want to thank everyone very much for watching. If you made it this far into the VOD and you haven't already, give me a sub. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next stream. Bye-bye!